Okay, let me correct the error I just created. I just blew my stream away. We may be back. I'm going to do a wave on camera now, and then if I see myself on the stream, I've somehow managed to connect back. I don't know how. There we are. Yeah, we're there. Woohoo! We're live again. Apologies if you're watching this and you expected me to start 30 minutes later. Today we have a lot of building work going on outside in our neighbours, so I stupidly just thought it was 2 o'clock because it was quiet as well outside. And I started and then I checked the events and I'm a little bit early, but you know, hey, this is recorded on YouTube so you can watch it afterwards. I'm going to be faffing around today a little bit with showing you a bit of behind the scenes. We get a lot of chat, really, a lot of interest in how a small business like we are, how we function, and we function largely by doing, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's a huge, great circular saw going on outside. We function by using a lot of tools to help us, because there is, in reality, there's only kind of, I'm going to count up quickly in my head, 8 hands on keyboards at any one time. There's 4 of us. That doesn't take a mathematician. There's sometimes a 5th. We have some very able help, and often we will ask for help from the community, and we'll ask for help from people we know, and we'll contract people to do pieces of work. So we're just the core, really, but a lot of what we do sits around that. I'm just going to flip my screen over. As you can see here, yeah, so if you are tuning in at 2:30 on a Thursday, I'm always going to stream at about 2 o'clock, there or thereabouts. So you'll see my Thursday live stream. That'll be me in general, unless I'm not around. Connor's going to be doing more sort of problem solving, you build things. He may vary them as well. And we might have some guests on as well at some point. We're trying to organise that. We've got a lot of good chats going on at the minute to do that. So just bear in mind, 2 o'clock, you'll see me on a Thursday. Generally 2:30, you'll see Connor on a Friday. And between Connor and myself, we'll run the Monday watch parties. So they're always cool to drop into if you like that sort of thing. We go through the content that we offer from previous events that we've run, previous summits, and sometimes solutions days. They can be quite interesting. But the benefit of the summits is quite a lot of people who are in the academy now, the 8,000 or so, have got access to those. So we can do that really easily because you can always watch it back afterwards. Whereas the solutions days, you have to be a platinum member to view it if you've not already bought the product itself. So there's a little bit more complexity there, which is why we bias towards the sessions. But yeah, so do check us out. We are going to be adding, there's a number of things that have happened this month, so it is worth me just calling this out. We have just launched it's the Vacation Booking Challenge. We used to run it as a 5-day coached event. It was like our sort of flagship event, if you like, because Connor and myself would coach. Matt Weston produced the content. But what we found is that people equally like to be able to do that in their own time. So we've just this week, I think, launched what I believe will be a fantastic product that'll help you all and allow you to access all the learning, joining, 7 Microsoft 365 Power Platform services, joining those up into a vacation, or in the UK, holiday booking solution. So it's a thing where you can book holiday via an app or a Power Virtual Agent, which is a little bot, quite clever. That all gets churned and processed by something called Power Automate. And then what happens is we have approval steps, so people can approve or reject that leave. And when it gets approved or rejected, it gets updated. And the approvals or rejections can also be done either via the interfaces that you get in Teams and Power Automate, or via a planner. And then to cap it all off, what it does is it will show you all of that leave entitlement in an aggregated view, so to speak. It's in Power BI, which is a great service if you've not explored it. It's not as difficult as people think. We only show you the basics. It's really, really, really skimming the surface of Power BI, because Power BI is a big thing. which may make you think I want to learn more, and you may want to go and do our success path with Power BI, which is cool. So yeah, that's launched this week. That is available. If you're a Platinum member, you can go to the event booking page. Remember that. So you can go there. If you struggle, pop me a note. I'll help you find it. Or if you want to purchase it, it is just available as a thing now. You can just add it to your catalog. If you're like some people, you do prefer just to have the thing that's yours forever. You know, you buy it, you keep it. You can do that. So yeah, it is available. It's in the shop, I believe, which I'll show you in a minute, actually, where the shops are. In fact, I'll show you that now, if you've never noticed it. Down the left is our shop. Now, we're not huge fans of this interface. We are a little bit constrained. I'm going to talk to that in a little bit, actually. But if you open the shop in a browser, like I is doing now, you'll see all our items. So the Power Platform Challenge is what you're looking for if you like that sort of thing. And if you click on it, it'll give you the pricings and all that stuff. But as I say, if you are a handsome guy, very handsome guy, definitely buy from him. He's very trustworthy. If you are into that kind of thing, then it is brilliant. It really just joins up what is a little bit mystifying to some people, these no-code tools, these low-code tools. It joins them up into a solution. And genuinely, I've built this thing. Connor's built it. Oh, in fact, the whole team have built it, and it isn't complex. And we've just updated the challenge as well for 2023, because Power Apps has changed pretty radically. So I say radically, the UI's changed a lot. So if you're a beginner into that sort of thing, it's not always easy to follow along if you're looking at the old UI, because they have moved certain important pieces around. So that's all been refreshed, so you'll find stuff really easily. So yeah, go find that out. Now, the other thing we've just launched, I may as well click on it here, is where do we find it? The Power Apps Step Up. This is Connor's little baby. Definitely go and look up. I don't like that view, so I'm going to open it in this view. Definitely go look it up. If you've just done the Power App Jumpstarts are always our beginner level things. They're always those. The step ups are those things that take you a little bit further. They expand your horizons a bit. They kind of give you more knowledge. And they sort of, the aim is to build confidence, really. So what Connor's done here is really cool. He's building on the clocking app, and he's building some other features that really, like the toolbox for Power Apps that you need to carry around with you experience whilst you're building an app, which you can kind of use in your own hands. So I really like that. That's our blue model anyway. That's like what we do. Build it, learn it, use it, enhance it, because we figure that there's lots and 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 lots of learning out there that's theory. There's lots of little snippets. There's lots of YouTube videos and stuff, and there's lots of kind of, I said lots a lot then. What's another word for lots? Much doesn't fit. Anyway, there's so much content out there on YouTube. You know, the Shane Youngs, the Matt Devaney's, they're great, fantastic. They'll tend to focus on teaching you a single skill or a single practice. Sometimes they chain them together, but what we're trying to do with all of our learning is to try and chain it together into something that's just that little bit more holistic, a bit more coherent as a product. So in the Power App space, I mean, so first of all, the Power Apps Step Up, the next step in your journey. You can get that again. You've just seen it on the sales page. You can get it via our shop, which is here if you're in the academy. If not, I'll show you where you can go. You grab that. What was my point? I've forgotten what I was going to say. Yeah, sorry. So you're enhancing that now. You can get that as part of a single product, or it's part of the Platinum plan. Now that will have been automatically given to you as part of the Platinum plan, so you can just go and play with it. It'd be down your left hand side. Down there it is, Power Apps Step Up Challenge. So you're looking for that. You're looking for, this is running very slow. There you go. Connor's wonderfully tanned face. He's been out in the sun, as you can tell, because it's sunny in the UK, which is nice. So you're looking for that. You click the Power Apps Step Up, and you've also got some reference guides to use. So this is stuff that adds to it that you can take away, you can reuse. That's wonderful. That gives you a product. Now, the next step we're doing, Connor and myself, is well, Connor's going to do it, but we were chatting about it yesterday. He's going to do a Pathfinder. So you've heard about the success paths that we do, the Power BI success path. It's a progress-driven journey to becoming what we call the Academy Pro, which is somebody who's got confidence. They know their way around the product. They've got some more specialized skills with these Pathfinders. In the sense of Power Apps, what's coming up for people is that Connor's going to take you on a journey through UI. So Power Apps, like when they come out of the box, you'll have seen this before. Let's just see it. We've got a So when Power Apps come out of the box, they look a bit they're not great. Microsofty colors, bit flat, bit boring. What Connor's going to do is he's going to, not this app, but he's going to take you through the practice of turning an app into something pretty cool. And rather than giving you an app in the sense that it's something that you will use the app, the theory at the moment is, and this could change, of course, he's going to give you a product which you can break bits off and use in your apps. So what I mean by that is you'll design buttons that make sense to an end user, icons, things like that. You'll style things in such a way that you'll go, I'm going to reuse that navigation menu in the future. Take that and put it in your own apps. So you go away with almost a little toolkit of cool looking UI elements. So I'm super excited because I'm absolutely rubbish at making things look pretty. I'll copy what other people do, but what you're going to learn is like the principles of how to do that, which I think could be really cool, actually. So yeah, looking forward to that. So 2 things have just been released, as I say, the Power App Step Up and the what we've called the Power Platform Challenge, which is the on-demand vacation booking solution. So let's find you where I wanted to take you today. Let's just have a look. Let's pull this one back. Okay, because I was with Connor. So pitch today, and I don't know how long it'll last because the noise outside and the heat in this here shed. What I was going to do today was to pitch to you a little bit about what we do as a small business. I think I started out with talking about there's only sort of at the core day to day in our like mechanical processes, there's a very small number of us. So we have to make this thing work for now 8,000 people. And that doesn't just mean we have to monitor the forum, which we do. We keep an eye on it. We'll chip in if we can. Some really cool questions coming in there, and I do encourage you, if you're watching this, go help people in the forum. It's really nice. It's a great way to learn as well. If you look at these problems and you go, oh, I think I could, maybe I'll go and learn about that. The best way to learn is to find a problem, go fix it, whether it's yours or somebody else's, if you have the time. But appreciating not everyone has the luxury of time. So we can't just do that. We can't just sit there happily and merrily. We've got a whole engine that happens, and that engine sort of begins when we invite people to come and join us at the Academy. So let's just see, let's just go to, tell you what, let's just start at the beginning. We're called collab365.com. I don't like this picture. I think Mark might change this picture, or he might have already changed it, but I still don't like it. Anyway, this is like where many people arrive. They'll come to Collab365 and it'll redirect them to the Academy because that's where we live our life right now. There are other assets. I may as well just show you this Power Platformer. This is more of like a blog site. It's really performant. It's really great. It's nice and quick, which is why we're using it. And gradually we're going to put more and more into here. But our main sort of asset is the Academy. So it's not just really a case of the 4 of us hands-on all day, every day, updating content, going and saying hello in the Academy. I was going to sort of expose a few bits that we do to see, you know, what that feels like to you, whether there's any interest, whether that's the sort of thing that you might be interested in and take into your business. I mean, the first thing to share with you is that I won't show you any of the details here, but we host everything we do on a solution called WordPress. So I say everything we do, we host our products, if you like, let's call it that. We host our product set, all the things that you buy, all the things you interact with, the courses. we host here. So these are pieces of WordPress. I am quickly whipping up just in case there's any sort of sensitive or upcoming information, but they are we'll get my face off there. They're pieces we host in a tool called WordPress. So let's just go and have a look. Let's just go and have a look at the Skills Builder, for example. In fact, let's just pick a different one because then I can show you behind the scenes. Vacation App Challenge. Let's just pick the Power BI Jumpstart. Nice and easy one. We host everything in LearnDash, which is a product which sits on top of WordPress. And each of these items is a lesson. So, I mean, the first thing I'm going to share with you is we use tools. We're not exclusively a Microsoft shop, and that's probably the first thing it's worthwhile if you're new to us understanding. Microsoft 365 is awesome. It's why we've built a business around it, but it's not the be all and end all. We're not complete 100% evangelists about Microsoft. It can't do certain things for us in the way that we as a small business need. So here's a great example. We'll put our courses, we'll put videos that we create using Camtasia or lots of other tools I can talk about. We'll put them into this product set, and it's dead easy. You have a page where you load your videos, you load your text, but it does the automation of course progression for us. So we've not had to build that. So if you're ever into LMS, learning management systems, or in a smaller scale, I wouldn't say this is an industrial scale LMS because it absolutely wouldn't be that for many people, I don't think. This is great. It gives you the ability to have sequential courses. You can have random orders. You can associate things like quizzes, pop-ups, progression, point scoring with another little tool that we've got called GamiPress or GamiPress, depends on your pronunciation. We have this tool here. So I'll just show you that. This allows us to kind of drive pop-ups and have achievements and that side of things. And we are going to do a lot more with this. But what I'm really selling here is the fact that we use tools to do the job because we are too small to do the job ourselves in its absolute entirety. And that's the kind of message I want to share with you. If you're looking for tools in this space, LearnDash is great, GamiPress is great, WordPress is great. What we've then done is we've linked all of that through to this thing that most of you will see day in, day out, I hope. And if you don't, log in and go and have a look. We've linked it to this thing, which is called the Academy. I'll just zoom that screen up a little bit so you can see it. So this is again another tool, and again it's that message. It's not Microsoft 365 stuff, this, and I'd be really interested if you're watching this after the stream, because appreciate not everyone's watching this live, then post a message if you're interested in the way that you can interface tools outside of the Microsoft domain to tools inside the Microsoft domain, because it's something we're really interested in exploring. We don't do a lot in like apps, so we don't do a lot of mobile no code tooling yet, things like Flutterflow. There's loads more. We'd like to explore it, but what we do, as you've just seen there a little bit, is we do have a lot of automation tools that are not Power Automate. So in that WordPress I showed you, we have automation tools that when somebody responds to one of our emails, for example, and says, do you know what, I'd really like that product, I'd like to grab it, it'll take those people through a shopping cart, it'll allow them to buy it, but then what it will do is it will deliver them to us here in this other asset, the Academy. This Academy is built on a product called Circle, and I'm going to post a link, our affiliate link to Circle, because if you're running a community or you're internal or external, doesn't matter, it's a pretty good tool we found. We've been with it now for 18 months. It's not desperately expensive, it's not free, it's not cheap, but you get this like Facebook-like experience. What you can do is you can automate certain aspects of an onboarding journey for a person into here. So you can let me just show you a little bit. Let's go into settings, onboarding. You can kind of determine what happens when people join, emails that they get. You can kind of determine what they see when they land. So these are some of the posts that you might be familiar with if you just joined us. So again, it's another little tool we use, and you can set it up in such a way. If you think about your customer journey, you can make sure that when they land at home, they've got these things to do. And there's little automations that Circle has wrapped up that can unlock certain things. So if you do this, for example, so you come and introduce yourself, you say hello on the introduce yourself post. We have automations which we've hooked into the back end of this to give you a badge, because it's just not practical. And if you've ever been in a small team or small business, it's just not practical to keep on top of day in, day out, assigning things to people and doing things to people. And that's where automations really, really help us. So we have lots of that stuff going on, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, too many to mention really. I don't want to dig around in the background, but we don't do much in terms of kind of automations off the back of your interactions once you're into the academy. So I'll touch on that in a minute. We try and kind of keep our automations necessary and sufficient. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is we try and keep it to support the business process, not as a thing which is intrusive to you, so you're constantly getting bombarded. Now, we do totally recognise that we have to send emails because we're a business. We have to kind of win business, hopefully, and invite you to this place. And if you don't hear about it, you'll never come. And also, when we have events, we have to send you emails and updates. Now, you can configure a lot of the stuff for yourself if you wish to. I may as well just show you this again. So down the left-hand side, my profile. You can play around with your profile. You can update your notification settings if there are, and this has just been updated by Circle actually. If you prefer to be a person who doesn't get lots and lots of notifications, you can literally control this to the nth degree. If you have 2 courses, for example, and you want to turn notifications on if someone posts against one of those courses, but not another one, you can do all of that, control it. So do take advantage of that. And that just kind of allows us the moral freedom, so to speak, to be confident that you're not getting overwhelmed. If you are, let us know. We're always doing things about it. We're always aware, and we're always thinking about that. So we are aware that our automations sometimes can overlap, and that's something we're very mindful of. But as I said at the start, we're a small business, so we will miss things, but we do our very, very best for you. So that's another automation that we use. We use the Circle's inbuilt automations. Let me just go and grab you. I think, can I remember? I won't be able to remember the page. Let's go and find the page, and I'll give you a link. Post, is it a post? I'll give you a link to Circle if it's something you're ever interested in. It's not that. Of course it's not that. Why would it be that? TT links. It won't be called TT links either. What this is this is a links page. It might be actually TikTok links. It's a links page that we give to people off the back of our TikTok videos. Here you go. Great. Woohoo. If you're interested in anything like Circle, do use our link, because that's great. It'd be great for us, be great for you. We can help you a little bit with questions around Circle. Let's just pop that into the chats. Also gives me a chance to breathe. Let's try that. There you go. So yeah, click on that link I've just popped into the YouTube chat. It is a really good service, and it is being changed all the time. It's like Microsoft Cloud Services, Microsoft 365. They're always changing. But Circle, I'm going to pull back the I'm not going to use that phrase. I'm going to pull back the curtains a little bit. They're always releasing stuff, and they've just released to us something which is interesting. They've just launched AI basically into their community spaces. So much of what you see here and what you get added to when you're part of the community is driven by the WordPress that I showed you, and a plugin there which says, okay, so person X has bought product Y, let's add them, give them permissions basically to this group. And it'll add you into the group. So if you're ever not in a group that you've bought, it takes a little while for that to trigger and to work its way through the system. But if after 10 minutes or so you're still not seeing it after a refresh down the left, pop us an email. It's generally something that automation's broken, but you get the idea. We're a small team, we have to use these automations because it really helps. But where was I? Yeah, they've just released a load of AI and other things into their sort of product set, if you like, because it's a community space. It has got courses, but for us it doesn't give us all the goodness that we want from courses right now, so we don't use it. We use the WordPress LearnDash process, but we get a lot of chat and questions. Not a lot, we get every so often the same themes come up, and one of those themes is jobs. And again, in the same way, I'm going to encourage you to click the link if you're watching this on demand on Circle. If you're interested in how the Academy can help you get roles, can help you get a position which is perhaps different to where you are and relates to Microsoft 365, what I'm going to say to you is there might be something coming. We've got the ability now. Let me just demonstrate here a little bit. If we have a load of these private spaces down here, you'll never see these, but we have the ability now to create a space down the left hand side, and a space is just almost like a folder, if you like, but it's a permissioned folder. These are space groups, and then within them you have spaces. We can set up a members space, or let's call it a job hunters space. Now, in the past, we've always shied away from that because there's not a lot we could sort of gatekeep, if you like. There's not a lot we can add to that space which makes it meaningful. We used to have a service called Microjobs, that's no longer in the pipeline for us. But what I mean by it is, it's no point just letting people say, hey, I'm looking for a job, because that's like, it's just shouting into the wind to an audience of none. But if we can do things in the Academy that can help you know that you've attained a certain level of confidence, skill, aptitude, and know you're in a location because you've done all of those things, and then equally from the flip side, if a recruiter, say, can know that people in this space have achieved those things and have shown that willingness, have shown that drive, like there's one of our members a while back, got genuinely, and I mean this 100%, got a job because he came on our 5-day challenge and he succeeded and he was brilliant. He really enjoyed it. He'd done a load of other things with us, and the person who hired him actually said, the reason that I'm giving you this role is because you've shown willingness, you've shown drive, you've gone off your own back and picked up more skills, and you're trying to be practical about your learning. You're not just a certificate collector. And I think that's really appealing for people. I've been a recruiter. I've seen people with lists of certificates, and genuinely for me, I'm not interested that much. They are very valuable qualifications, don't get me wrong, but I tend to look at the person, the skills, the background, what the rounded being looks like, the human being behind all of these things. And if you see somebody who's like, I'm working on this, it's not right yet, but I'm trying to do it, and I'm trying to do this, and I think I'll get there through that action, then you're more likely to want to engage in a conversation with them, and if they're the right kind of person for your business. So my point there is, if we can have this space which not only allows you to be confident you've got there for the right reasons, you're not just dumped in a space, equally people who might be looking for you know you're there because you've achieved certain things, and that's not bad. Now, we've got a bit of a model. So here's one, our vacation app graduates. We know that everybody in this space, in the on-demand and discovery center space, has got there via our challenge, and they've done a lot of good things to get there. They've gone through the process of, at the time it was a 5-day challenge, it was one that took place sort of middle of last year, I think it would have been. Yeah, and so they've done a thing, they've demonstrated it throughout. They had to be on live calls, they demonstrated what they were doing. It's a really good way of learning. So we know that those people have done some things, and if somebody were to ask what's unique about those folks, we could tell them they've used 7 different Microsoft services. They built a solution, they know how it works, they can expand on Planner, Power Automate, Power Apps. You get the idea, right? There's some actual things associated to it. They've got Credly certificates to prove it. We've got a model, that what we don't have is the human beings in the middle to be able to join all that up. But let's have a look what Circle have given us. And I'd be really interested in the chat if anybody is interested in this kind of thing being set up, because we can do it for you, potentially, if we keep the plan. Circle have this thing now called workflows. Now, let's just show you what we can potentially do. They're a bit limited, but it is automation in the same way as Power Automate is automation. These are triggers in Power Automate languages. You've got automatic things. We haven't used any of these yet. They're a bit limited, but what you can do is you can set up a custom workflow. So here we go. I could go create a workflow. We could say, yeah, what we could do is we could say, let's find one for you that will make sense. This is quite a good one. Tag added to a member. So when you pass one of our challenges, what we'll tend to do is we'll tend to assign an academy badge to you. So, for example, the what's now the Power Platform Challenge, you'll hear me call it 5-day challenge because that's where we used to do it. It's the model we used to use. The 5-day vacation booking challenge. It's the Power Platform Challenge now. But if you do that, you get an academy tag. It used to be Challenger. That's all automated in the WordPress tool that I showed you a minute ago. We have a plugin which, when you pass an exam on one of those LearnDash courses, it gives you one of these circle tags. So a great example of how we've joined up not only a WordPress product with a plugin, which is from somebody else, to a piece of tooling inside the circle, which gives you a tag. Now we can hook into that, which is really cool. Welcome, Tintu and Svetlana. Apologies if you're joining thinking I'm just starting. I did start a little bit early because of my own timing goof. So just to bring you up to speed, I've been showing people what we do in terms of the Academy as a small team. Just as a recap for anybody who's joining just now, as a small team, we don't just use Microsoft products. We use products that make sense to help our small team be able to automate loads and loads of things. So if you're ever interested in how to go beyond Microsoft to help your business or your team or whatever, and you think you've got that ability to do that, we're pretty much free range because we are free range. We're a small business. We can do what we like. We can pull in tools. Appreciate a lot of businesses are constrained on the tool set they use. But if you are one of those people and you want to find out what I've just done, give me a shout. I'm very happy to just share a brief post about it. But in summary, we host all of our website assets on a tool called WordPress. In there are our products that we use to host our course assets, a thing called LearnDash. We have automations associated to the lessons that happen in there. So we can do things like I'm just demonstrating here. We can add a tag to members. And what you're seeing here is the other piece of our puzzle, which is a thing called Circle, which is what you're working in the Academy. That's where you live in the Academy. It's a community product that we purchased. We rent, actually. Subscribe to, don't know what the right term is. But yeah, so we can add a tag to a member. Now, if those members, let's just pick one. If a member completed the Power App Step Up, they would get that on their tag. We can do this to say, if after a series, there is an assertion that means you've demonstrated knowledge, what we could then do is, let's just continue on that one. We can then add you to a space. So there you go. So that's what I'm talking about. We could add you to a more VIP exclusive space, job seekers space. If jobs are in your mind, that's a place we could go now. Circle have unlocked this to us, and I'm really interested in the sort of the chat on YouTube or in the Teams call. If anybody coming to this has, I need new role, or I want to move job, move business, let us know, because this is a sort of thing now, only now we can exploit using automation. So we could put you into a dedicated space, which proves to you you've got those skills. You know you're there because you've almost qualified's the wrong word, but you've earned your place there. Let's say that gives you the confidence to go to recruiters, to role people and say, I've earned my place over here. Come and have a look. And equally, if anybody's to ask us, why are these people in this group now, we'll be able to say, if we choose to set this up, or if there's an appetite to set it up, we're able to go, well, they've done it. They're there because they've passed the Step Up challenge for Power Apps. They've also done the Power Automate beginner challenge. They've also done the entire success path for Power Automate. So do you know what? They've got our pro level badge. They've done lots of things. And it might also be that we can add actions in there which give you a certain amount of kudos or a badge for helping others in the community. And if you're looking for a job with Microsoft 365, that all just plays really well to anybody who's interested in recruiting. The fact that you've demonstrated your problem solving knowledge, you've achieved a level of skill, but with us you've achieved a level of skill which is based around solutions. And there's all sorts of other stuff we could do. So I wanted to show that to you because I think this could be really useful, but we've got it on trial at the minute. We're really only going to press the button if there's a good appetite for us and if that works. So I think the community will drive whether we keep that or not as a product. We'd quite like to, because we're nerds, we like to play with stuff. But like, we can think of lots of use cases for it, we believe, but that sort of job seekers one is a really good one. And it might even be that if I did a post and I said in the academy, which we can do, I could say, well, look, who's looking for a new job? Who's looking for a new role? Do you need any help? We can also use this new workflow tool to direct you to some really good posts that we've got over here in Power Platformer, to go through the process of what is it I need to think about my next role. If I'm just getting into this space, what are the skills I need to demonstrate? We've got loads of that stuff over here and it's only growing. So again, being a small team, we can't reply to every question, but that makes it much easier if we have automations in place to reply to every question, because we can put a post in, we can write an answer which says, brilliant, you've requested a bit of information about what you should think about for a new role. Here's your links. There you go, done, bosh. So that could be quite cool. I guess that's kind of where our brain is going. There is another thing that we're getting as part of this new product set for the academy. Blooming everywhere. I don't see the value yet, but let's just try this. Let's just do a new post there. Let's go into the forum. I'd love it if this was available to you as Academy members. I seem to have broken the Academy. Doesn't like being filmed. Yeah, there you go. We've got, ta-da, Copilot. I don't know where they're driving this from, but they've got a level of AI automation. So give me ideas. I've not pressed this one before, so let's press it. It's going to allow us as admins to create posts and content. Seems to be working that well. Tell you what. Let's just do this. New features in Power Automate might be my post. That did not work. Okay. New features in Power Automate. Going to get Copilot to write me a post, am I? I don't know, am I? That does not work. Generate an outline. Okay, so it's taken some information from our background setup. Yeah, I need to look into this as to what it's generating this on. Yeah, what I'd love is if you as Academy members could use Copilot to kind of phrase questions, form answers even, but at the moment it's more an authoring tool for the administrators. I don't believe that if you click the plus there, you don't get Copilot, which is a bit sad. I understand it because it's probably a premium feature, but it'd be nice if we could unlock that at some point. I'm going to play with that because I'm just going to have a little tinker. Power Apps, I don't know, let's just put something in here. Oh, I can't spell. It's too hot. And apologies if you can hear that rattling outside. It's very noisy, the building. Power Apps features in June 2023. What's Copilot going to do for me here? Okay, so what it might do is it might take my text. Oh, this could be quite interesting actually, because we've in the past we've done transcripts. In fact, I'm going to try one. We've done transcripts for workshops. Now, one of the things it will do is it will transcribe video that's in the Academy, which could be really helpful to you as members. So again, if that's of interest, getting transcripts for whatever reason, whether it's accessibility, whether it's readability afterwards, let us know, because it may be something we can look into. But I'm just thinking where I had my last transcript. Let's just see if it wouldn't be there. It will probably be probably in a sum. Let's just go here. No. Where would I have a transcript? What I'm thinking of is if I can get it to summarize transcripts for you, then that's useful. That's useful time. Again, it's an automation because it's AI automating something for us that can help you, which I'd be quite interested in doing. I remember seeing one recently. Let's just actually, if I just search the word transcript, I wonder if we've been canny enough to say this is a transcript. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, somebody was saying that video transcripts would be useful as an alternative to watching video. Completely agree. I just want to find one. There you go. A transcript's been added to automatically improve your experience. Let's see. Has it though? Oh, you cheeky devil. It literally hasn't. Let's try that again. One thing I don't like, and it is coming as a feature, is the search results in this platform. It's limited to 15 at the minute, but they're bringing in tagging. Sorry, they are bringing in enhancements to search, which I hope will be tagging and that sort of thing, to allow us to keep this flat architecture we've got for all the posts being quite flat. Sorry, Sydney. Yes, you're having font size problems again. Am I sharing or streaming from somewhere else? So I'm sharing the Academy. This is tiny. You don't need to read this. This is just me showing the search stuff. What I can do, I learned this the other day. What's this? Will it work? Bet it won't work. Okay, it does work. I'm not going to do that all the time, but I press the Windows key and plus. Little tip there. Have a play. I think it works. I'm not going to show anything specifically technical, Sydney. I'm giving you more the idea of the concepts, and I'm just exploring transcripts to see whether I can give you, as a community person, a member, something valuable off the back of a video. Because in the context of automations, that sort of thing could be quite useful, and it wouldn't be too difficult for us to hook into. Let me just try something. I'm going off a bit of a tangent here, but I think that's fine for this this stream. That's what we do. Let's say I want a transcript of, oh, this was a great one. Right, so this currently, yeah, Snagit from TechSmith does pick text out of images. Yeah, something I'll be aware of actually, because I do flash screens around, and I'm always very mindful that you give your permission to be visible in the Academy, and you can control that. But of course, we are streaming this out, so I'm always very mindful to try not to linger on anything that's, you know, relating to people as much as I possibly can. And apologies if I do. You just have to call it out for me, and I will remove it. But what I'm going to try, I wonder. I've got a transcribe video option somewhere. It's not there. What am I doing? What am I doing? What are you doing, John? Yes, I think transcripts could well be useful. We've got a new tool in the academy which could be the answer. You can do transcripts everywhere. Stream has transcripts. Vimeo, which is where we host our videos to keep them private unless you're a member, that does transcripts. Everything does transcripts. Teams does transcripts. We've got no problem with transcripts. The challenge is making them useful because they all exist in the context of the product where the video exists. And what do I mean by that? We host our productions on Teams at the minute. If we transcribe in Teams, you guessed it, that's all permissioned to our team, to our tenant. Normal folk in the outside world are not permissioned to our tenant, so you can't see our transcripts. You don't get the goodness out of being able to click the words you like and go to the video. It just doesn't work. And again, with Vimeo, if we upload a video there, we can transcribe it and we can click it, but you don't have access to the Vimeo transcripts, the editor. Circle have given us another option, which is transcripts. I've just got to find out how to use it. I've never used it before. So, where was I? It's getting hot in my shed, so I won't linger too long today. Let's go back to that Power Platform Solutions. I've seen it. Oh, I know where I've seen it. I know where I've seen it. Right. It was here, wasn't it? Copilot. Was it? No, it wasn't. Hey, Linda, welcome back. Just playing with transcription. We've got some new services in the academy. And I've seen it. I'm going to go and let's go and have a look. See what that gives me back. Yeah, we know all that. Right. This is the thing that has been released on top of this product. Like I say, we don't just limit ourselves to Microsoft products, but we are super mindful of data in transit. We don't move data between our different platforms, all of which are 2FA secured, lightly. And if we do, it's obfuscated. It's if that's the right word, it's encrypted and it's not customer data we move between the two platforms. But it is a really important message. Businesses can't just always, they sometimes can't always just use Microsoft product. So a lot of our automation has this in mind. How are we going to get that done without sending sensitive data over there? And that's where features like I'm just about to show you, although transcription's not really that sensitive, can be really useful. Let's just search transcription. If you watch me before on these live streams, you'll know I'm pretty poor at multitasking, so I might just try and go quiet. I'm going to go look at the chat as well. So if we get to Word, we could edit. It says welcome to security team. Now accidentally press the microphone for putting everything. Oh no. Oh, so here's an interesting one. I won't say who it is. So walking around with the security team, accidentally pressed the microphone on a phone, and it was putting everything into a message. And yeah, my son did the same. He plays cricket, and in his cricket bag, his phone accidentally called the police twice, actually, at the same time. 2 weeks on the trot when he's putting his stuff into his bag. So you'd have to be really careful with these like microphone transcriptions and things like that. Let's just have a look in the knowledge base. Click here to visit the knowledge base. This is Circle, by the way. This is the product that we have a subscription to. Does it look familiar? Might look familiar. Hey, Bayek, where are there transcript? Where would I find out about transcription? Let's just search. I have seen it. How do automated transcriptions? We upload a video or a post. So let me just try something. Because what we do are again automations. This isn't an automation. This is a Connor automation, and generally whoever's hosting the session. So when we run our workshops or any event, what happens is, let's say I'm the host, I'm there with the person who's presenting, and it's all lovely, and we press record at the start and we get a stream recording. That's what happens to us. You folk can't see that because it's in our tenant. You're not members of our tenant. We don't officially bring you in. You're always just guests to the Teams call, which you can do. It's nice, and like it abstracts that layer. What happens then is we take our stream video, we download it. Connor, generally, because he's really fast, then edits the end, any big breaks out, any major fluffs up, and the start and end off, makes a coherent thing. We then upload it to Vimeo, because that's where we keep all of our secure assets that you can watch on demand. So if we ever do an on-demand thing, that's where it's going. No spoilers there. Then what we do is we go and get the embed link and we stick it into the post. Now, sometimes we will upload videos direct to Circle, but if you can imagine this, we've got one big store of videos over here in Vimeo, which we pay for. It's got a lot of storage. It's brilliant. If we do that in Circle, they're also going to charge us for their storage, which is why we try not to. But this suggests that if we chose to, it will do all these automated things for us. So, going to look at the chat now and see whether that's of interest to people. So let's just have a look. Yeah, so I'm getting in the chat in Teams. Thank you for that. There is there's a how-to on transcribing. Absolutely, in Stream, it's so simple. Because this is Circle, completely separate product to Microsoft products. It has its own way of doing things, but it is largely the same. You upload it, you select some options. Yeah, I mean, the Microsoft transcription, I wonder if I've got anything I can show you, because that's quite a nice little side, isn't it? The Microsoft transcription stuff. Let's have a look on my other screen. Let me find something. Bear with me. Here you go. Here you go. Where was it? Go into transcript. So over here, let me just shrink down on my chat. There you go. Over here. Really slow. This is interesting. Recap. Oh, this is interesting. This is new. So this recap tab actually is new, I think. I hadn't seen that last week. I'd normally go to recordings and transcriptions. We've turned on transcriptions on our meetings automatically. Now, what you're seeing here, it's Stream does this. When you upload a video, it'll automatically transcribe for you. But what they've now done is they've brought that into Teams, which is lovely. Sync to video. Oh, okay, that's cool. So if I were down here, let's just go, I don't know, I'm just going to pick there. Whoa, that's so cool. Yeah. So the problem we've got is we can't expose that experience to you folk, because that is something I don't believe you can see. If you went to Jeff Abel's workshop, go and have a look. Workshop placeholder. Don't know why we called it that, but that was just the Teams meeting. It was mastering Teams and unleashing the potential of Teams, basically. Even if I open that in Stream, let's just go and have a look. Yeah, so it's the same stuff, right? It's the same interface, but brought into Teams. I can't get that to you easily. Oh, you can't see where I am now, Sydney. Oh, that's a shame. What's going on there? Okay, so I can't give you a URL. Again, I'm just demonstrating really where I am, where I was there in Teams. Well, let me just get Teams back up. I do click around a little bit fast. This is my Teams interface. I've just shaken my Teams interface and closed everything down on my other browser, which I did not want to do. So bear with me. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Teams interface in the recap tab. Now, for other people's meetings, you won't see this, but what we're able to do now, let's come out of that because that is largely it's a diversion for you. It's probably a bit confusing. What we are able to do now, get back there, it would seem is if I were to now upload this video to Circle, to this product called Circle, I can set it to transcribe for me, and that could give you searchable transcriptions. So I think we will explore that the next time we upload something to the Academy. Rather than source it direct from Vimeo, I'm going to experiment with taking the video, putting it into the Academy. There are big caveats with us uploading things to this product. It's got storage, number one. It can allow you to upload videos, number two. It has proven to be a little bit flaky when it comes to us taking video out of it. It tends to desync the sound, but it's something we can try, and we can try and get transcriptions that way into the workshops. I think things like workshops, it will prove really useful for people. So maybe that's what we can do, is we'll take a choice to experiment. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to create a card for our next workshop too, because I think I've got one coming up in July, hopefully. I won't give any spoilers away, but I think it'll be a really cool one. Yes, I won't even say the name because that would be unfair. We haven't agreed it yet at all. But yeah, I'm really hoping to have a really good workshop in July, which again is about another automation type thing that you can do with a tool set that you've got that really helps simplify things like document generation, but we'll come on to that. So I'm going to experiment. I'll create a card in Planner because that's how we work. It's not an automation as such, but it's an organizational tool. I'll create a card which will allow me next time to look at uploading the workshop with the transcripts. Yes, and we'll hopefully be able to do that before our trial expires. I could, Sydney, I absolutely could, because this is only going to be about an hour. What I might do is I might upload it as a general interest post. I'll take it from YouTube. So same process, I'll download it from YouTube rather. I'll upload this and I will try a transcript. And then those of you what joined a bit late, because I started early, my bad, you'll be able to just skim through it and go, oh, I'm a bit interested in jobs. I'll click on that bit of the video. We'll give it a go. Let's do it. I'd have to cut out 3 minutes to your question in the chat there if I was going to do just 3 minutes of it. I've got loads of videos I can upload. Oh, yeah. What have I got? What have I got that's local? Tell you what, I'll do it over here. I've got I always upload stuff here. This is just my like little sandpit. I tell you what, let's do it. Let's do it. I've got 15 minutes or so left. So what I'll do is I'll upload an object, an item from my drive. So let's pull that over here. So you're not seeing my inner workings of my disorganized brain. In the Academy, you can't transcribe live. On a Teams call, you absolutely can do live transcription. So again, when we do this work, what we try and do is we always separate our thinking. We have to separate the processes, actually is more accurate. So a Teams call in the context of a live Teams call, like I could turn on live transcription now. You could turn it on, in fact, if you went to I can't remember where it is now. Speech, record and transcribe. Is that it? Language and speech. There you go. Language and speech. Turn on live captions. Do that yourself. Choose your language. That's you. You can do that. That's live. Transcriptions in the context I'm talking about is a thing that happens after the event. It'll read through a video file, actually listen to the audio in its computerized way, generate the text. It's doing the same thing as live captions, but it's an on-demand thing that you can search through. So let me, I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you one of my terrible adverts. Yeah, I do adverts. They're not terrible, actually. I'm quite proud of them. We try and do adverts to speak to people's problems because that's what we're about. We don't want to just sell the features of Microsoft. We want to solve problems. So I've got an advert. I'm sure I have. Over here. What? 1 minute. Okay. Let me just try this. I'm going to pull in a 1 minute advert. We are in a Teams call right now. That's correct, Sydney. But what we are doing, again, slicing all this into separate pieces, what we're doing is this Teams call is also being recorded. So it will be sat in a YouTube bucket afterwards. And in the same sense, if I want to put that into the Academy afterwards, I have to take it from that bucket and put it in the Academy. So that's what I'm really doing in my screen now, is I'm taking something from a bucket, which happens to, in this case, be my desktop, and I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to see whether I get, okay, the option to transcribe. But it's not that simple. I've just blown it. Hang on. Bear with me, caller. Your call is important to me. Okay, choose file, open. It's uploading the file. Yeah, I love it. So you've turned on live transcriptions. That's in your Teams call. Definitely do that if you prefer transcriptions in a live event. Sorry, what they call them is captions, actually. So that's the difference in it. Captions is a thing that happens in real time. Transcription is a thing that, I don't know whether this is correct, happens after the event. Let me just check. I've got no questions in the YouTube channel. I got no questions in the YouTube channel. Ooh, people join the YouTube channel. Yeah, I think you're right. Well, yeah, it may be the case that transcription happens post-event. But what I'm looking for here, and I'm not seeing it, is the option to transcribe. Says I can. Didn't work though. Well, let's just do that one more time. Maybe I have to do it once I've uploaded. This is a private post, so let's just publish it. Right. So, there you go. We've automatically generated a transcript and closed captions for your video. Oh, you little beauty. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in on my screen a bit. So that's pretty cool, actually. If we, so here we go. Let's just say I only want to look in. I've read I want to cash on the global skills shortage. Where is that in the video? So it works exactly the same as stream. That's taken it to that point in the video. So that could be really, really useful for members of Collab 365 on workshops. Yeah, so you wouldn't be, so just to answer the question that's in the chat, can we have a step-by-step on the process that we followed? So what I think I will do, the transcription for the Academy is irrelevant to you because you don't, what's the word? You won't interact with the Academy in the same way that I do. This product isn't accessible to you to upload videos. That said, you do interact with your own Microsoft environment. And if you're on a Teams call and you press record, what's happening is that video is going into stream. It's sitting in the stream bucket. You know, I talked about the YouTube bucket earlier. If it's sitting in the stream bucket, there is genuinely no step-by-step. The fact you've pressed record on your Teams call So long as in that meeting, and I can write this down for you, you've set transcribe, or you've started it, or you've set it to automatically, you will get this experience in stream. And that is exactly the experience that we've now got the capability to do in the academy, if it's of interest to people. So I'll better turn that off. This is all Microsoft domain stuff. So if you've got a tenant and you've got Stream enabled for you, which most have, this will happen without you doing anything, which is pretty cool. It's just that if you, and you'll only experience this if you ever want to try and give this to somebody else who's not in your tenant, that's where stuff breaks. That's why I'm excited about the ability to do exactly the same, but in the academy where you all live. You don't have to touch my tenant. I don't have to worry about any permissions because the academy is on a product called Circle, which you are permissioned into separately. You've been given access to it, basically. I hope that answers your question. So for Teams, press record, you get this. If you can also generate transcripts after the event, but you can also automatically generate transcripts as part of your meeting. Whew, there we go. Can have a break. So am I out of things to share today? We do. Okay, so I will share this with you. All the stuff I've talked to today is about probably non-Microsoft other than Stream there, and Teams. We use an awful lot of Microsoft automations. So we use pretty much Power Automate as an engine inside of our business a lot as well. We use it to grab data from different data sets and expose it in Power BI. We use Power Apps less, if I'm completely honest, because our use cases don't require us to serve many people. So therefore, because we're a small team, we can serve ourselves with these automations. So Power Automate's like our go-to. Oh, interesting. Get the right permissions, yes. And Teams call, click on record. Yes, with people's permission, you click record, absolutely. You can, in the meeting settings, when you set it up, let me just show you this, actually, I can show you this. You've got the meeting settings, I'll take you through this. Yes, you can record and transcribe, okay? You can set that up automatically in the meeting options. Let's just pull, where's that window? Here we go, right, let me make this bigger. Bit of a diversion, but just answering the question as to how to do this automatically in Teams. So ignore all this stuff up here. You can record automatically. So if you set a meeting up in people's calendars, you can choose this as a setting. So if I go to my, let's just go over here, pull that. So if I set up a Teams meeting for the sake of argument here, I'm going to meeting options. It's exactly the same window that you'll see. Same one you've just seen within Teams. You can record automatically. You can do all these settings. So when I say about adding the settings for a team meeting, that's where you do them. But it's the same thing here. So you can record automatically, or you can press the record button. The transcription, again, you can, in fact, what I did was you can set this as by default as a policy in your Teams admin. If you've got access to Teams admin, you can set that. And that's what we've done now. So all of our Teams meetings will transcribe, store in Stream by default, and store as accessible in Teams by default, which is pretty cool. It saves you pressing all the buttons. So let's just go back to the chat to review your steps. So set it to record automatically. You can do that by policy or by meeting individually. Yes, you would share with people to give them read access, but those people have to be in your domain, in your tenant, as either guests, like proper guests, not just guests in the sense that you can join a Teams meeting. But if you use Circle to do it, it's a whole different experience. It's just a different product, basically. And you're absolutely right. Things like retention, you will set your own policies around and your own governance around access, for example. Yeah, really, really good little step by step there, Sydney. Thank you. Even though you asked me to write it, you wrote it. But if you ever get stuck on that sort of stuff, give me a shout. Happy to walk through that sort of thing with you. I think for today, if it's okay with you all, we've come to like the hour 15, which is what I like to do. I am going to do this every week at 2 o'clock. Some weeks will be a bit meandering like this. Some weeks will be me sharing something with you very specific and exploring it. But this week, I wanted to just give you a bit of insight into what a small business does, even in a tiny sense, around automations, because it is a fascinating world to dig into, and you should always be curious because there's always new tools out there, which is why I kind of shared with you that Circle have released some new things. We've got them in preview at the minute for us in a trial. We're trying to decide whether to keep them, but that transcription one may be one that we turn on at the point. Well, we might go and get this product at the point of the next workshop and turn on transcription and experiment, because I think that in itself is a valuable tool that's worth us paying for on your behalf. But equally, the thing I showed you around the jobs could be really valuable, because if that's valuable to you and it gives you a reason to come to the academy, then it's a win-win. So we'll explore that. Yeah, so just doing what tech writers do all the time. Yeah, cool. So Tintu, to answer your question, yes. So just apologies, I did start early. So at the very beginning, what I was explaining was that our website, let me just show you this sort of very, very briefly. I'll go back to the beginning if you like. It's like Back to the Future. Our website and all of our like web assets, if you go to cloud365.com and the academy, it's hosted on this product called WordPress. Loads of plugins down the left-hand side, all that good stuff. It's a place which gives you the capability to host content. Our content lives in courses. Courses have lessons. This is this thing called LearnDash that we use. This surface is all of the jump starts, the step ups, the courses that we look after. It's not a learning management system as such, but it's a place to host learning content, which is good enough for us right now. Then what we've done is we've used a whole bunch of automations that when somebody likes one of those courses and they buy it, we have automations to then allow them to have an account on this that you're seeing here. Now, to you, this shouldn't look any different, but what this actually is a product called Circle, which if you're interested in, I did post a link in the YouTube channel. I will post it over here as well. Copy link. That's not the right one. I don't want to do that. I'll find it in a minute. I will post it into the Teams chat. But Circle is a community platform, and we used it because we wanted people to be able to come together. Does it look familiar to what we do? Yeah, we skinned up our version of this. We buy this from them, but you're hosted as an academy on this product. But what we then have to solve is the fact that this Circle product, go back here, it allows you to do some stuff. I can go live with it. It's got its own little video conferencing, if you like, but it's all encapsulated in the academy. You can stream out to the out from the academy, but what we do is we use the Microsoft product set and we just host it. So this is a Teams call you're on right now. It's on our tenant, but you've been invited to it. You turn up, but all I do is I give you a link to it from this location. So if you go to the events, what you're seeing here behind the scenes is he's not put the link in there yet, but I'm sure he will. Let's just go to past events. This is me today. This link here is what you've joined. Now that fires up a Teams call, which is openly accessible. That's not English, but you can get into it basically. So we use different tools and we combine them together in as sensible, cost efficient and secure ways we can manage. We don't just cobble stuff together. We think about each of the components very carefully, because if you're anything like us, you are very paranoid about hacks, data leakage, all that stuff. It's something we think about an awful lot and we're very careful to manage. So it's not many parts. It sounds a lot, but it's not. It's one product, WordPress, one product, Circle, a WordPress plugin, and a Microsoft tenant. So 4 products running a small business. I hope that answers your question, Tintu. Just reading the questions there. Yeah, completely agree. Using the word team and teams. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to finish it there for today, I think. This will be recorded and available on our YouTube channel. It won't have any of your chat on there because it's just the video window that you'll be seeing. It'll have lots of me. Feel free to go and drop in and have a look. And if you're really desperate to see it inside the Academy rather than pop into a YouTube link, just let me know in the chat and I will bring it over and transcribe it. I could do that. I might do that anyway because it'd be fun to see what happens. It'll also be fun to see what happens when I bring it over. You all click around on it and get really happy because you can find that bit you wanted. And then we don't take the trial for Circle, which is all about transcription, and see whether you can still do it. And then you scream at me. Yeah, okay. So yeah, because we would love you to just stay in the Academy, to be honest. So yeah, let's do that. For anybody on YouTube, come to the Academy because you should. And anybody, and the links are in the YouTube channel chat. And anybody in the Academy, I'm going to post this and transcribe it. And do enjoy it, do experiment with it, and comment whether you like it and all that stuff. Ooh, it's been hot today. But look, thank you very much for spending time with me. It's lovely to speak to you all and see you all as always. I hope you stay well for the rest of the week. I'm going to open a door in my shed and let some cooler air in because it's getting pretty stuffy. So yeah, take care. I shall see you all very soon.